Welcome to the Diva Details. Welcome to the Diva Details, where bold, confident women embrace life unapologetically. From love and sex to wellness and reinvention, we keep it raw, real, and powerful. No filters, no limits. Just fearless conversations to help you thrive. Let's dive in with Diva Mia and Diva Cat.
Well, hello, Diva Cat. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. It's kind of weird out there right now.
No.
I think the world's changing and moving along, but I think sometimes people are kind of racist and I don't know. I still see a lot of hatred towards different religions.
I feel like everybody just need to take a chill pill.
I think so too. The whole thing that went on with Israel, I think, caused a lot of problems. And there's some anti-Semitism going on.
Is it really?
There is. And it amazes me that in this day and age, there's still so much anti-Semitism.
I haven't been out there yet.
Well,
let me just say, I haven't been to the church and I don't go to the church. So I really can't say much about that.
Yeah. So I know that you're in an interracial marriage.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So has that caused any problems for you?
No.
No?
Both sides of the family very chill.
Both sides of the family very chill.
Mm-hmm.
I think people make a bigger deal out of different races and different religions than they should. I think everybody should just get along. That's my personal belief.
Me too. People are people. They don't look at just I don't know. It's just getting crazy right now. So I just the whole weekend I turned off TV, clean up my house.
Yeah.
Turn on the music. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that the whole thing in Israel brought things to a head. But there's even differences when people marry and they're Catholic and they're, Mormon. I mean, there's differences when people marry and they're Catholic and they're Jewish. It's such a challenge, religion. Yeah. And heck, there's even differences when people marry and they're Democrat and Republican.
Yeah.
There's so much of a juggle in order to make things work. So you're not going to church now. Do you think that helps? Do you think that you would go to the same church if you were?
I never go to the church. I'm Buddhist. I go to temple.
Right.
And I only go to one temple.
Right.
And we go to the temple. That's all we pray to be good to others. We don't bring up other whatever.
Right.
So you go there, you meditate, we bring potluck, we had lunch and we come home.
Does your husband ever go with you?
My husband go with me, yeah. My kid go too.
Yeah.
And then, you remember my husband Muslim?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we pretty much chill. And my husband's family is very mixed.
Mixed religions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you go to his temple?
Yeah.
With him too?
Yeah.
So you just both go?
Yeah. We both go to both sides.
So what was your child type of baptized?
No, I raised my son as a Muslim.
As a Muslim. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he enjoys that?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. So... And there was never any conflict on religion with you inside your family?
No.
Well, that makes it easier.
Yeah.
I think that belief in interreligion and interrelationships, people are getting a little bit more relaxed, but then there's the extremes that go kind of crazy with it.
Yeah, they do.
You have to have empathy with it, respect, and give each other grace with it. And if you're kind of a chill person, it works. If you're extreme, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Our family is pretty mixed. I have an uncle who owns his church. I have a brother who's a deacon.
Really?
Yeah, my stepbrother is a deacon.
So you have people that are related in the religion that are pretty deep in it, and you're still pretty chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's different. People blame on religions. I think it's the person.
It's definitely, it's definitely the person. Different people can have different belief systems, and I think it's how ingrained your belief system is. If you turn religion into a core value that no one else can believe different than you, that's when we run into problems.
Right.
Right. So let's just stick on the religion for a while. I think that religion, because it's evolved over time, I think that people are starting to be more accepting of people in other religion. And I think it's different between religions too. It would probably be harder to have a Jew and a Muslim together.
My husband's uncle married a Jew.
Did they? And it was never any conflict, or was there conflict?
I don't know. They live in France, but every time we go over there, we family get together. I don't think any conflicts, anything like that. No.
Yeah.
All the families still get together.
So really, it's just the fringe extremists that are causing most of the problems, like everything. Like in politics.
Right.
The people on the fringe that are not in the middle, that are not accepting and empathetic towards other people are the ones that are leading to all the problems and issues and violence.
Yeah. No, we don't believe in
Do you think that going forward, do you think your son will have any issues marrying interreligiously?
I don't think so.
Because you raised him that way.
I raised him very freely. Even though he was born, we raised him as a Muslim. But in the future, if he involved with something else, then we'll be okay with it too, as long as he do good.
Were your parents okay with it? Yeah, no problems there. That's great. So sometimes there's stereotypes too that keep people apart. When you met him, I remember you asked him if he was a terrorist.
Yeah.
And it was because he was Muslim and it was right after 9/11. Yeah. So do you think sometimes stereotypes keep people apart as well?
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I don't see his go away.
Yeah.
We look at that as a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is still a joke.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I think over generations, I think people are becoming more accepting of others as well.
Yeah. I think it's even with some family, very, very traditional religious. Heck, even the same religions between two churches, they still don't get along.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think it's a person people blame on religion. That just made it up, I think.
If you had chosen to raise your son as a Buddhist, would your husband have been okay with it? So it's all about communication and openness and respect, I believe.
Right.
I think the social pressures are a little bit there too. I think overall, if you can eliminate any social pressures between friends, family, and everything else, it's the outside forces that matter, I think, more than the internal forces when you're both chill like that.
Right, yeah. We actually have a very good friend of us. They are they Hindu, and they raised their son grew up as a Hindu, real vegetarians and stuff. But then when he goes off to college, he met this girl who's very, very Christian. He goes to church with her and stuff. Now he baptized to be Christian. And they were okay with it.
There's things you can do if there's conflict. If you have issues in the family, you can go to coaches, you can go to therapists.
I just think people should not use religion or politics to break apart your friendship between family and friends.
Yes. I don't really care what a person's religion is. I'm friends with all different types of religious people. Mm-hmm. I'm not friends with any extremists, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of us is very extreme, so we don't know. But everybody that we hang out with is very chill.
Yeah.
So we don't know that part of it.
Yeah. I think if you can create harmony in your family and that your family's not so big of a deal. But when there's family, the family's probably the number one. I don't think you're going to see a lot in friends, but I think family number one is going to be the one that's the most challenging to handle when there's difficulties.
Well, I have stepbrother who's deacon. And when family gather together, he do his blessings and stuff. We accepted him as a blessing. And when we do, he very chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that you can encourage friends and family to seek help too if there's problems. Mm-hmm. I think that when it comes to religion is it's so ingrained in some people that they don't look past it. Mm-hmm. But because that's their upbringing, right? People are inundated with it at a young age. Mm-hmm. But I think as long as you can be open and honest. Now, I've even met friends who you tell them that let's say you tell them you're Christian and you're not going to church very much. They come at you. They're like, oh, you got to go to church. And then they start quoting scripture to you. And I think people need to realize that religion needs to be respected and not over pushed. Because for me, organized religion, I'm going to a different church now, but organized religion for me has been it's been so overwhelming at times that it's pushed me away. So people need to realize that sometimes when you push too hard with people, you're going to push them away.
So you go totally new church. Did you like it?
Yeah, I'm switching churches. I was going to a church and the pastor got in trouble for some misdeeds that he'd done in his past.
Wow.
And so I ended up switching churches because I just couldn't go to a church. I couldn't support a church that they hid it. Uh-huh. He didn't come clean. They hid it until it came out. And that to me was a double deception.
He did till it get caught.
Yeah, it was like I got cheated on by my church.
Right? Yeah, no cheating.
Yeah, it's like the church cheated and then lied about it and then cheated again because they lied about it. You know what I mean? When people don't have good morals and ethics, I can't support it.
Yeah.
So when they were deceptive about it, it made me leave the church.
Yeah.
Because that's the principles and virtues they're supposed to be teaching and supposed to be teaching my children too, right? Mm-hmm. So if a church, this is the whole thing with the Catholic Church too, I think. When they hid all the stuff that the priests were doing, it turned people away from the Catholic Church. Because that deception was lying, and you're supposed to be teaching virtue and morals and ethics, and then you go and you hide behind lies about what your priests were doing to little boys.
That's scary.
And little girls. It wasn't just little boys, but a lot of it was little boys. So, yeah, it was not good, if you will.
Yeah, I watched one of the episodes for the, I love the crime scenes. God, I forgot the name. New York, about the Catholic Church, the big church in New York.
Yeah.
I watched one of that episode. I didn't
Well, you
realize that's really
understand.
happening. You know what I mean?
Well,
I
I'm not-
thought it was a TV show.
I'm not Catholic, but I go to a non-denominational church. My kids were baptized Lutheran. And I'm not Catholic, but I for sure, it turned my stomach. So I could never be Catholic after that. So I would never go down that route. Now, would I marry a Catholic? Maybe. Would I marry a devout Catholic that's extreme? Probably not.
Yeah.
So religion does have an impact on that as well, like who I choose for a partner.
It's very powerful. Look at the history. It's been around 1,000 years, people,
Well, and honestly, the Methodist and Lutheran and a lot of Christianity is a spinoff from the Catholic Church anyway. It's been around, and it is a core function of other religions too. And other religions have taken from it and etc. So it's definitely there. It's a strong religion, don't get me wrong. It just turned my stomach. And I'm not into religion enough to overlook the problems. I look at everything from an objective outside standpoint. So when that happened at the church I was going to, it just reminded me of the Catholic Church, and the church turns my stomach. When I found out, I literally left the same day from my church and never went back. There was actually protesters outside. I hadn't even heard.
Oh, wow.
And what was going on. And it was the first day I went to church, and I found out, and the way they handled it, when I found out, I walked out in the middle of the service. I was so upset. I walked out because you could tell that they were lying, and I'm very good at I'm an empath, right? So I'm very good at reading people and feeling their vibe. It was just so uncomfortable. I was like, that's a lie. That's a lie. I can tell your body language is showing it's a lie. Wow. So I'm out of here. So I left, and we never went back. So now I'm on the hunt for a new church.
You just have to go to a different church every weekend.
That's what I'm doing. Every weekend, this weekend, I think I'm going to hit 2 churches. Not hit, but, spy 2 churches. Yeah. The church I went to last weekend, my kids liked it, enjoyed it. Because it's not just important for me. It's also important for my children to enjoy the church, too. Because it matters to them. The whole point for me of a church is not just to understand religion and understand Jesus and believe. It's also to create strong morals, ethics, and values in children. And as parents, we can preach to our kids so much. But when they hear it from a pastor or from other friends, it's the social experience where they actually learn morals, ethics, and values, I think. It's something that has to be ingrained in a personality when you're young. Now, yes, you can, as an adult, learn morals, values, and ethics. But if you don't really get it when you're young, then there's a problem. And if you don't get it when you're young, you're not going to have it as you go on longer in life. And my ex was a Catholic. So my ex went to a Catholic school even, and he didn't get it.
I grew up going to Catholic school.
Yeah. So Catholic schools don't necessarily teach you morals, values, and ethics, although I know you're a very moral and ethic person. But a lot of times Catholic schools don't teach you that. You need to learn it, but you need to find a church that's really strong in it.
Right.
And
I was born in as a Buddhist because the whole family, right?
Right.
But then back home, for you to go to get a good education, you have to go to a private school.
Yeah.
And the only private school either run by the Catholic Church or the Christian church. So back then, I don't know, they have Notre Dame. So I actually went to school in Notre Dame.
That's nice. So you were taught by nuns.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
All girls school.
Were they hard on you?
Yes.
They were?
Yes.
Did they have the ruler?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They have the ruler. Actually, I'm lefty. Look, it's still left mark on my hand.
Oh my gosh.
Switching. Every time they turn me, I keep switching to my left hand. This is how hard-headed I am. And I'm still lefty.
See, if you don't know, a lot of times the thing about the Catholic Church is that they had nuns that were kind of violent to children. They would take the ruler and smack it across their hands, across the back of their neck, or smack them in the butt. Capital punishment was allowed back then.
Yeah, and if the skirt was too short, too long, and in sewing class, the skirt was too long. I didn't like the way it looked. I sewed it up, and I got smacked right in my leg.
Oh, wow.
My skirt was too short.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though you were with all girls, your skirt was still too short.
Yeah.
Did you live on campus or did you just...
Yeah, we live on the campus. We go home on Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, we did that because my friend was out of country a lot. So we did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Me and my sister.
Do you think they taught you morals, values, and ethics?
I think they taught more value. And actually, though, when we come and economic-wise is really good. Because when I got out from that school, when I was placing in public school, I'm actually skipped 2 grades.
So it was a good education.
A very good education.
Even though you got smacked with a ruler.
Yeah.
I guess nobody acted up.
No, nobody, no. And if you you don't follow, they really, really, and I'm not truly believe in the violence, but I think some kid needs it.
It kept everybody in line.
Right. Especially the kid like me. My sister was an angel.
Yeah.
My sister very chill follower. I don't. I'm like different part of the world.
Huh. Wow.
And they always so our school is this all-girls school, right? Next door is all-boys school. Of course, going to be holes there.
So they allowed you to come to Catholic school even though you weren't Catholic.
Yeah.
See, so that's the thing is you don't have to be Catholic.
Though. I don't know.
If they would allow that?
Well, I don't know.
It's interesting how large the Catholic Church is, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that Catholics are kind of, some Catholics are kind of extreme as well. A lot of times they only look for other Catholics to marry.
Yeah.
On the dating apps, you can state what religion you are, too.
Yes, I noticed that, too.
Yeah, on the dating apps. So if you have a religion, you can say, I only want to date Christians, I only want to date Catholics, I only want to date Muslim or Buddhist or whatever it is. So you can specifically state the religion because for some people, it is the most important thing.
Yeah, it is. So I'm actually in my yoga class. That's to the ladies that her husband passed. You're only at that age. So she actually went on the Christian mingle.
Christian mingle, yeah. Define a Christian.
But she's in her 60s. In her 60s already.
Yeah.
And they found each other.
On Christian mingle. Yeah.
And ironically, they in the same yoga class together.
It's funny. I've heard good things about Christian mingle that people enjoy.
She's really and another one of my good friend's sister. She's getting married this Thursday.
From Christian mingle? Well, there you are. There's a plug for Christian mingle dating app.
But they're older though. They're in their 60s.
Christian mingle is for older people, I think. I think Christian mingle is not a lot of young people, at least what I've seen.
I don't know, yeah.
It's for people that have probably been divorced once, is more of a Christian mingle group. I don't know. They might have a good young following, but I've seen a lot of older people on it.
Yeah, so she enjoy each other and they enjoy each other. They come to yoga class together and they're both widow, He lost his wife and she lost her husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my friend's sisters also, she getting married this Thursday.
Yeah, that's great. So you can do different dating apps for different religions too. And then you can select your religion. I think that I know a lot of Jewish people only date Jewish people, and they even have names for women that aren't Jewish that they end up marrying. And then some Catholics will only date Catholics. So some religions are more prone to date the same religion.
Yeah.
Even Muslim. I mean, I'm amazed that Muslims usually date other Muslims.
Yeah.
So, but you're Buddhist and you married a Muslim.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy and content and comfortable in the religion, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk a little bit about interracial. Interracial can be a challenge too, but I think over time, interracial has become more socially acceptable. I mean, personally, I love interracial babies. The mulatto babies, the ones that are white and black, that are tan. I'm like, your baby, and they usually have dark skin and blue eyes or something, and it's amazing.
You should have seen my son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your son's beautiful too. Interracial babies are gorgeous. They're very good looking, and not always. I mean, there have been, I'm not saying every interracial baby is beautiful, but most of them are. And they're nice looking. They have nice features. Their faces and their hair. Sometimes they have curly hair, but lighter skin. It's interesting to have interracial babies. From a genetic standpoint, it's better to breed, if you will, from interracial because you get the best of both breeds.
I think so too. Yeah, you don't want to inbreed kid, like you know how they did with the dog. Inbreed dog, they have a lot of defects.
Well, a lot of times previously in monarchs, they used to inbreed and they'd have birth defects from inbreeding.
Right, for the royal family.
Yes, and if you find a village, they've had village studies where there was villages that only inbred within that village. So you might be breeding with a cousin or something.
Yeah,
and they have genetic abnormalities with that. So the way genetics works, just from a high level, is when two genes come together, it's kind of like survival of the fittest of the best gene. So whichever gene is the dominant or the prevalent or strongest, which is usually the better gene, wins. So then your genes merge and the best gene on that level wins for that specific thing. The problem is there's no dominant gene. So whichever gene wins can be a bad gene. And so therefore you get inbreeding, you get abnormalities and things like that. It's actually really good to interbreed. And people, the difference I think is people have difficulties with culturals inbreeding and with society. It's a little challenging. Or if there's a language barrier, like if somebody breeds with a Mexican person and most of the family doesn't speak Mexican. I know I bred, if you will, with a Polish family, and the mother spoke Polish, but the stepfather didn't. So it was a challenge, and most of the time they would speak Polish in front of me, which I find disrespectful too. But it's like they would talk behind my back right to my face, and I didn't speak Polish, so it was a thing.
Oh, wow.
There's differences when you're in a family that's interracial, interbreeding, etc., when there's different languages involved too.
Well, nowadays you have Google Translator.
You have Google Translate, and now you can also, here's the trick, you can get earbuds that you stick in your ears so that when somebody's talking, that you can listen to what they're saying. It'll translate right on the fly. It's like an AI earbud, and you don't even have to tell them. If they're talking about you, you just stick them in and you'll know what they're saying about you. That'd be interesting. Oh, yeah, they just called you a bitch.
Yeah, right?
You don't even know. So, so be careful. I mean, be careful what you say now with all the AI and the translation. You can find out what your family say or your in-family saying about you. Yeah.
I used to. I grew up with a lot of languages around me.
Yeah. How many languages do you speak?
I speak 3 fluently, but the other languages I pick up here and there. Because I know the Arabic, I start picking up because when they're talking. Yeah. So I had the ear from I have the ears for the language.
Yeah. So you're not just interracial, you're interreligion, you're interracial too.
Yeah, I mix a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but did you guys do anything different because of your backgrounds?
No.
No, for like your wedding?
I did too. No.
No? It was just a standard wedding?
It was just standard wedding. But I did I have 3 weddings.
You had 3 weddings. Yeah. Okay, so you did do something different.
I did do So we do the Muslim in the mosque, kind of like side of contact. That's the first one. And the second one, I did my Buddhist ceremony. And the last one, it's just the traditional American wedding.
So you did do something different. Yeah. So a lot of people, when it's interracial and interreligion, they'll have multiple ceremonies for your wedding.
I love it. Get to wear a lot of outfits.
A lot of different dresses. How many receptions did you have, like parties after?
I do just one.
Just one.
Yeah.
So you had 3 different weddings, 1 party.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So you have to understand that there's going to be differences between, especially with marriages, when you have big events like that. And then there's family events. And you're kind of double teaming it with family events, right? Because you're going to get a lot of holidays in both religions. If you're Muslim, you're going to get certain holidays. If you're Catholic, you're going to have others. If you're Jewish, you're going to have others. So you're going to have multiple holidays to handle.
My family, we celebrate everything. My sister is actually very Catholic.
You just want to party all day.
So my third sister married to a Catholic. She married a Catholic church, and all her kids raised as Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my brother, the only one that married to Buddhist. So they have the same thing at home. And I married Muslim. So we end up celebrate everything.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And my mom Vietnamese. We celebrate Vietnamese New Year too.
So every day's a party.
Every day's a party.
Every day's a party, guys. So if you marry multi-religion or multicultural, even sometimes it might be a party. Yeah. So different cultures will have different views too. Like during the holidays, you might cook different dishes for different cultures.
Right.
I know there's a Polish tradition that we do every year for when my ex was around, when I was still married, that we did. And then like Christmas Eve, it's fish. It's not any meat. So like there's different things you have to learn as well.
The Catholic, they eat 7 fishes.
Wow. I think that's what it was. It was exactly. Because they were Catholic.
I know that because of my sister.
So then you have to understand, are you going to learn the language when it's multiple, multicultural as well? So interracial may also require you to learn another language.
Yeah.
I guess I could have. I just never did. I learned some. When I went to Poland, I learned some. And I spoke a little bit, but I didn't learn a lot.
I think it's so cool to know a lot of languages. Let me tell you, when we go overseas, we meet all the cousins. We feel like, wow, my kid only know 2 languages, which is very bad. All the kids there, they speak at least
3, sometimes 4 languages. That's a Europe thing, though. That's because they
Yeah.
stop them at such a young age. And then it
Right.
trains when you start learning a language at a young age, it trains the brain.
Right. Your brain trained to do that.
Yeah, I think we start too late here. A lot of times kids don't get another language until junior high or high school. And if at that age, kids are just like, I don't want to learn anything else.
Well, my son, when they were young, they want me to, when we go to school, they just want to strictly speak English only. I said, no, I'm going to speak my language to him. At least he'll know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so
he's like confused when growing up.
It's a little confusing, but at the same time, it actually expands their mind.
Right. At least when he hears it, he understands. He won't speak it. But
I really feel like it makes him a little smarter, too.
Yeah, I don't know. He confused.
You're a little confused. Well, and then the question is, how do you approach family members and parents?
They all speak English.
Well, were your parents okay with the multi-racial, multi-religion? They were. So some families won't be. So you got to be careful. You got to tiptoe around it, even when you're dating someone with different races, because it can be a primary thing for family and for friends.
My best friend dating this guy, his family doesn't know about her for 2 years.
Wow. So he wanted to make sure it was definitely serious before he took the risk with his family. So maybe that's what you do as well, is maybe you wait a little bit on introducing to family. Let's say you've been dating somebody for a year, maybe even 2. You still haven't introduced them because you're afraid your family's going to try to break you up.
Yeah, his family doesn't know about her for 2 years.
Well, that's a real possibility. They may break you up, which is, if that happens, you're going to have to either cut ties with them or have a serious sit down and maybe make some major boundaries around them.
Yeah, I think she did. That's why he proposed. They've been married for 20 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it happens.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of families, especially when they're older, they have stereotypes in their minds, too, about people. So maybe once they get to know the person, they'll love them as much as you do, but it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I see the movie. Just especially you're going to marry to the big old-fashioned Italian family. Forget it.
Yeah. Well, you have to realize, isn't there that My Big Fat Greek Wedding, that whole movie series?
The whole thing?
Yeah, was because of marrying into a wedding. So you got to have open dialogue. You're going to have to be able to bend.
That's happened for real, everything we see in the movie. But
well, I think it's happened for you, too. I think you've been able to bend.
Yeah.
And you've had to bend and be flexible. So because you're flexible with different cultures and different beliefs, you've been able to merge right into the two. But if you're not flexible and you're very set in your ways, it's probably not a good idea to go multiracial or multi-religion.
Family
or interracial or interreligion.
Family and religion is very important.
Family
if you
is
don't
huge.
Blend it, forget it. Especially with me. My family come first.
But if your family told you couldn't marry a Muslim, would you have not?
I'm still going to marry Muslim anyway.
You still would have.
But
you would have just set up boundaries.
Right. I would not make that cross, no.
I think it's all about communication and discussions. And if you have a very strict family, you may cut ties. So I guess it depends on how much you love the other person. You may even have to cut ties with friends. It goes back to values, morals, and ethics, and your values, morals, and ethics, too.
I know the friend that right now they don't speak to each other because of religions and politics. And they've been friends in like kindergarten.
Politics is a whole nother beast, right? So lately, politics has turned families against families.
Yes.
And
I don't like that.
I will say that I kind of lost my family based on politics. So for years, I didn't speak to a lot of my family because they didn't like it because I was more conservative and they were more liberal. And I'm very moderate. I'm very middle of the road, but it was a thing. Yeah. And I grew up liberal, so don't get me wrong, but over time I changed like a lot of people do. Yeah. They grow more conservative over time. And it was a big thing because, mine were all academics, and the extended family academics, they didn't like the fact that I was conservative. And I will say I've seen more liberals not like conservatives, and I've seen conservatives not like liberals.
I just think it's very sad.
It is. I have a lot of liberal friends. I do. I have a lot of liberal friends. I don't really care what people's politics are. We just don't talk politics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, whatever you believe, but then between friends, they said between gathering, they said no politics, no religion talk.
Well, I don't really care if people talk religion, but for politics, I think is worse than religion now.
I know.
Because people will talk religion and faith and things like that, and they all not go head to head. If you put two extreme people talking politics, and man, it's like going to end up with fights.
Our neighborhood used to be very lively, but lately, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. The politics can really weigh on people. They've turned politics into a religion is the problem. And when people are different political parties, sometimes it doesn't match. I think more because there's certain values that come about with a political party. and different ethics and morals. And I think politics shows that. So sometimes people don't get along because of the morals, values, and ethics, not necessarily the politics of everything. But you have to learn to respectfully disagree in things when you're dating like this.
I think so.
You're going to be raised two different ways. You may have two different political parties. You've got to be able to respectfully disagree with each other. And then I think you also have to have your shared rituals. Now, I know you like to go sit out and look at the stars, which I love. But you've got to honor both backgrounds and both religions. Now, during the holidays, which do you follow?
We follow both.
You follow both?
Yeah, we celebrate both.
So that's a challenge too.
No, I don't think so.
Well, it's double work.
Because these religions that I don't have to work as much. No.
That's because he does it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he makes sure both religions get followed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a challenge for him. Yeah.
I don't say so.
No? He just enjoys doing it? Well, if you enjoy doing it, enjoy having two things, but you're always going to be doing double the work.
Yeah.
It is double the work versus having one religion. It creates a little bit of a challenge, and it depends on how far you take it, too. Some people are probably really far and extreme on religious things, and other people are just, let's just do the basics.
Yeah. We do pretty much just the basic.
That helps. So how do you cope when people are judging you from the outside?
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes people make judgment calls.
Celebrate two religions.
Yeah, so when you're celebrating two religions, sometimes you just run into issues, and sometimes you will have to just do multiple things.
Yeah, I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I love it.
What do you guys identify as when it comes to religion?
Muslim.
You both do?
Yeah.
So you follow that more than Buddhist? Okay. Well, do you hang out in a community of Muslim people, or is it just interracial? And teaching kids, you've gone Muslim with that route. Yeah. So I think that's the big part when you get married and you have children, is to determine which religion the children are going to be. I think that's probably the biggest sticking point for people, is to make sure that the kids are following one religion or another.
Yeah.
Now, are you both of the same political party? So that helps too. Yeah. So you don't have that conflict. Honestly, I think that conflict would be worse than the interreligion, especially lately with the hatred of different political parties. I want to say to everybody, can't we all just get along? Because the reality is we're all pretty much the same. I mean, everybody acts like political parties are so different, but we're all Americans, right? So let's all just get along. You never had to have any coaches or therapists or anything to help you through it. You guys just had harmony right off the bat, right?
No, yeah.
Well, that's nice. I think if we can evolve as a society into just loving each other for our differences as well as our similarities, I think that's important.
Yeah.
On the dating apps, some of the dating apps do have a political affiliation. So sometimes you can say I'm conservative or liberal or progressive. So you can write something like that in. A lot of people will, it's gotten kind of violent. Some people say no MAGA supporters. I've seen that on the dating apps. And then I've seen no libtards or no liberals on the dating apps. So there's just different belief systems. And so people won't even date people of a different political party right now. I've never seen anyone say no blacks or no whites or no Hispanic. Never seen that. People are more willing to date interracially now than different ideologies.
Wow.
Because politics is just an ideology. It's just a belief system. So people are willing to date you no matter what your skin color is, but they won't date you if you have a different political party.
Yo, wow, that's sad.
I know. It's different. And I don't really care. Although I think if I was going to marry someone, I would want to marry someone kind of moderate. I definitely couldn't do as extreme on either side. I'm not extreme. So extreme would probably not work for me. Because I want to be accepting of different races, cultures, etc. And I think the extremes on both sides aren't very accepting. The cancel culture comes from the extreme left, right? So you can't even do that because they'll cancel if you don't believe the same way they do. Your lifestyle is important too, because your lifestyle is impacted by your religion, your culture, and your political party.
I think lifestyle is a big thing.
Yes. And so your lifestyle it flows though, because you're interracial, you're interreligion, and it flows together.
Yeah. We eat, we work out, we take vacation. That's all I care.
Eat, work out, and take vacation. That's the basics. Kind of like
takes a long way.
So I had a monologue podcast about respect, attention. Those are the basics and security for a relationship to exist. Respect, attention, and security have to go both ways, but I think that respect, attention, and security has to go with religion as well, and culture, and even political party. If you're not respecting each other's religion, if you're not respecting each other's culture, you're going to have a problem. So remember, it's not just for men to respect women. It's also just in general in the relationship.
Yeah.
And then if you're not giving attention if you're not giving attention to the other side, whether it's their religion, their political party, or their intercultural issues, you got to give attention and give them that feeling that you're appreciating them. And then security. Security would be to make sure that family and friends aren't attacking your partner, that you're giving them safety, you're giving them security, giving them emotional security so they feel safe in the space to practice their religion, to practice their politics, and to be in their culture.
I'm very chill. We don't have that problem between our families.
Well, that's because you have those. You have respect, you have attention, and you have security. Those are the things you need in any relationship. And you have that related to your politics, you have that related to your religion and your culture. If you didn't have those three things, it would make a challenge for your relationship. If he didn't respect you as a person with your Buddhist religion, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
You know? And if you were different political parties and he didn't respect your politics, that could be a problem too.
Yeah.
So it's more about the person than about the religion. It's more about the person than about the political party. So again, it goes back to finding the right mate, to finding the right person that respects you, that gives you attention, that gives you security. And if they do that in general, they should do that with your other areas as well.
I think in relationship, you both have to like the same thing and have to be parallel together and support each other.
You don't have everything the same thing.
We don't like everything the same thing, but we support each other.
You got to support it. Yeah. You got to respect it. You got to give people the space to feel safe in what they enjoy and what they love. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I got, Kat.
That's all I have too.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off today. I hope this was an enlightening podcast for you and that after now you can realize that it's okay to have a different religion with your partner. It's okay to be a different political party and it's okay to be a different culture.
It's okay to be different.
Or interracial. Yes, it's okay. We encourage you to reach out and try new things.
Yes, right.
This is Diva Mia signing off.
Signing off. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love hearing from you. Visit thedivadetails.com to connect. See you next week for more.
Diva Details podcast and website are intended solely for informational and entertainment purposes. The content provided does not constitute professional, medical, financial, or legal advice. We are not licensed medical practitioners, financial advisors, or legal professionals. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Any financial topics discussed are based on personal opinions and experience and should not be considered professional advice. The content provided does not constitute legal advice. The Diva Details and its affiliate contributors and guests are not liable for any losses or damages arising from the use of our content. The opinions expressed in the podcast are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of any affiliated organization, sponsors, or partners. All facts discussed in the podcast are researched and accurate to the best of our knowledge at the time of recording. Information may change over time. No guarantees are made regarding the accuracy, completeness, or reliability of any statements or opinions presented. It is the responsibility of the listener to verify any and all facts that may influence their decision. This podcast is for information and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.